I hope all of you will agree with me that startups do not exist in isolation. Understanding the influence of ecosystem stakeholders on a startup's operation is crucial for navigating challenges and maximizing opportunities. But who are these stakeholders? This is where Porter's 5 forces model comes to play, which leads businesses assess the competitive dynamics within their industry. They include suppliers, customers, competitors, substitutes, new entrants, and others who directly or indirectly impact your business as part of the macro business environment. It could be government policies or investors who can affect your startup. Let us take up an example how suppliers can impact your business. Suppliers influence product quality and cost. For instance, say you are a startup in eco-friendly products. If suppliers are limited or really expensive, it can directly affect both the cost structure and the product availability. It's crucial to manage supplier relationships to maintain profitability. Let's take another example. Can your customer influence you as a startup? Of course, the bargaining power of the customers can impact your startup. Customers' preferences shapes sales and drive product development. Say you are a startup in a mobile app. If customers demand additional features or better user experience, the startup must adapt quickly to stay competitive and retain its marketing position. Therefore, knowing your stakeholder is very, very relevant. If you underestimate certain stakeholders, startups' risk is really high because you're ignoring your potential allies, advisories, and influencers. So, here is a chance to learn about mapping these stakeholders to exercise crucial decisions which will influence your business. Here is an example of Byju's the learning app for you to better understand the overall landscape of ecosystem of the stakeholders. Who are the competitors for Byju's? It could be a coaching center. It could be definitely Coursera. They do exactly what Byju's do and therefore they are direct competitors. Is there an indirect competitor? Any content creator sitting in that YouTube space could also be a competitor. Who are the customers for Byju's? Parents who pay for it and the students who are the primary users of the Byju's app. Are there any partners? Yes, schools do promote Byju's, so they are institutional partner. Can Byju's do all of its technological operations by itself? No, it also had a technology partner from AWS. There are other partners for the purpose of taking Byju's to the customers. So you will always tell me that in the macro space, there are these social media influencers who are partners. And tutors are of course detractors. And the last but not the least is regulatory body. The courses that Byju's were offering for these K-12 students are perfectly aligned to the policy of the school education. So CBSE, whatever happens there, had a great deal of impact on the courses and the learning that Byju's were building. So this is a classic example to explore and understand ecosystem of stakeholders for a startup. You should also try one for your own startup. The next core concept that we are going to understand through this lesson is exploring macro trends. Analyzing the macro conditions is critical for assessing the viability of a new startup because these conditions can determine the overall business climate in which the startup will operate. Macro trends are large-scale, overarching forces that reshape the global economy, society, technology, and environment over extended periods. These trends go beyond your day-to-day fluctuations, providing a broader context that can significantly influence industries, businesses, and even entire economies. Few of the sample macro trends include the economic conditions in which your business operates, the social factors that can influence your business, or probably the political environment of the nation in which your startup is existing, or probably we today talk about boundaryless organizations, what's happening in the global market, or it could be technological advancements that can in fact affect your business. Let's take this example of technological advancement. Innovations like artificial intelligence, automation, and blockchain are reshaping industries, from healthcare to finance. Say if you're a startup in tech sector, you need to recognize these trends and adapt the products and services to leverage emerging technologies, whether by integrating AI for personalized user expectations or using blockchain for enhanced security. So hope you will agree that there are enough of these macro environment factors which as a startup you should continuously evaluate, because there lies your opportunity to expand, grow, and anticipate challenges. While we analyze these macro trends, of course as a startup we would like to understand the impact that it is creating to our business. Is it a positive pattern or is it a negative pattern? And based on our understanding, we eventually make strategic decisions. So say for example, there is enough access for venture capital availability for a startup. You would obviously say that it is a positive economic trend for startups because this will help them to access funding, which will help them to fuel their growth business and probably hire better talent, invest more money on R&D, and expand to new markets. Say there is this economic recession in a particular country. What will happen to the startups in that particular nation? Of course, this will result for the startup to struggle because they might not find new customers. This will lead for reduced revenue from the existing customers and having a harder time to access capital. Say there is a war. The startup will obviously lose. It will impact them. It intensifies the competition for skilled employees, probably driving up salaries and benefits that may be challenging for the startups to afford. So, while you analyze the macro trends, it is good to actually understand what are the positive economic trends that it is giving you and what are the negative economic trends you would be facing so that you can betterment on your informed decisions.